real train, real blank. Talking top two, I'm not a two. And I do what I gotta go home.
The heart is South. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another action-packed day at the National Convention Center here in Hanoi, APT Hanoi Billions 2023. Today, I'll be bringing you the final table coverage of APT Taiwan exclusive. From the field of 192 entries, we're down to 6 players who guarantee themselves a seat to the APT main event here in Hanoi. Today, they'll be competing on the main stage here on the felt to get to the price top prize of 1,000 USD along with APT Lion Trophy. So, with further ado, let's introduce the players starting in seat 8 with 195,000 in chips. Let's welcome Kevin C. In seat 7, we have K7 Poke with 340,000 in chips. In seat 6, we have the Lazy Guy with 165,000 in chips. With 205,000 in chips, let's welcome Aho! In seat 3, we have Born 1995 with 120,000 in chips. And finally, our chip leader, Killer 157-11570 with 975,000 in chips. And let's welcome our dealer, Megan, dressed in beautiful traditional Vietnamese áo dài, to kick up the action today. Good luck, players. Shuffle up and deal.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome once again to the APT Hanoi Billions. This is the Taiwan exclusive event. I'm Aditya Vadvani, joined by Suited Superman. We're bringing you all the action from this feature final table today. My Mr. Superman, yesterday, how did it go? Before we get into the poker while they're all taking their shots there, we finished our whole session yesterday, and then you somehow still had energy to go and register not 1 but 2 tournaments.
Yes, this is definitely hard to resist the urge to get on the felt and play some poker. There's so much fun and so many players in each and every event. So that was a must for me. If I have time and still have time to registration for any of the event, end of the day, I would love to go and try to take my shot at the trophy. And so, yeah, luckily I was able to register to one of the events yesterday and actually made really close to the money. So it was a very fun experience, and I would suggest you to give it a shot when you have a chance.
Yeah, one of these days perhaps I will bring out my inner Superman as well if I can find the energy. However, commentary is where it's at today for me and this event that we have featured here. Later on we have the Influencer Challenge. That'll be also pretty cool. Some familiar faces to look out for over there. I don't want to spoil anything, so you guys will have to stay tuned for that later on in the evening. Main event day 1C is also on around the fields. Huge numbers as well. At the end of yesterday, I saw somewhere on the news reports that the guarantee was already at 1.8 million USD. I think we'll hit that target of 2.5 that I've had in my head by the end of the 4 days. 4 day ones. Right then, let's begin with this table. 6 players remaining in this event, of course, the final table. And the blinds will be 4K, 8K, with the big blind ante in effect as always.
Yeah, all these players are from Taiwan. They have battled a field of 192 players and down to just 6 now. All guarantee $150 with laddering up all the way to 1,000 USD up top. They are all guarantee a seat to the APT main event. So, you know, it's not the worst thing to be busting out this event and can hop into to the main event, which has a huge prize pool, as Addy just mentioned. Also, for the winner, will be receiving the APT Lion Trophy and all the glory that comes with it.
And here we go, our first hand. It's the blinds that'll be clashing right now. It's fun to say that name because you just have to say, oh!
Yes.
I always like it when there's multiple letters in the name. It's like adding a couple of exclamation marks. It just makes it more fun. The lazy guy, though, defends nicely mossed, by the way. The board wasn't much help to him, but ace-3 suited. It's quite a nice hand to have in position. But aggression from the small blind gets the job done early. Hand 1 going to the gentleman in seat number 4. There are all our players. Chip leader, almost more than everyone combined by the looks of it. Killer 157, 11570. We were wondering if that's his body count. How many has the killer taken down? That's a lot. Call the police.
Yeah, that must be how many players he busted on lines. So we have the table chip leader having most of the chips in play. Definitely having a great spot to be able to, apply the aggressions and put pressure on the other stacks. Having a chip leader final table is no better feeling to have. And the man that we're looking at here, 121 big blinds.
And I always get super scared of someone. So when you hear the name killer, you might be expecting, some sort of really gangster-looking fellow. But when it's just a guy who's looking like he's just your average businessman, like a businessman by day, killer by night. I like it. The lazy guy with another suited ace now in the small blind. Looking to steal the blinds off K7 poke. Hello everyone in chat as well, joining us on YouTube from around the world. We are on a delay in terms of the feed, but we are pretty close to real time in terms of you and us, the chat and ourselves. So if you want to ask us questions, we can respond to them almost in real time. We'd love to do that. If you have any questions about the event, about these players, do let us know.
Yes, it's very interesting to be able to see different group of players. The past few days, we have seen the Indian, the Vietnamese, the Thai, Hong Kong players, and now Taiwan showcasing their skills in poker.
And it seems to be that Taiwan's looking to be the quiet bunch, just like the Hong Kong group was. The Thai and the Indians were very vocal. They were really chatty. And it looks like Hong Kong and Taiwan players a little more quiet, focused. Born 1995, username that just makes me feel old in its mere existence. Chucks ace-7 away. Ahow! The king-5 off in the cutoff. Ooh, up to no good. Ahow! Just over 2 big blinds is the raise there. K7 poke with a suited jack-6. Lets it go. Let's see if the big blind here, Kevin CCCCC decides to continue. I'm sure he will, getting a great price to defend and take a flop, and a flop we will see. King 9 suit, Queen 9 suited, a beautiful hand. Even more beautiful when you pick up top pair with backdoor flush draws. Let's see if Ahow here continues the aggression. I mean, given that this is part of his opening range, you'd imagine a C-bet incoming.
Yes, pretty dry flop.
And he goes for about half the pot, which on a dry flop is a pretty nice thing to do. And I think some warning bells will sound off when he received almost instant action Ooh, that's actually quite an interesting turn there. Open-ended now for the original aggressor, but Kevin just picked up a flush draw to go with this, so he's not going anywhere. And if you're Ahau here, you might decide to get a little frisky, or do you just check back and try to realize your equity?
Yeah, it's very good card for his actual hand, but this is not very good for his range, and Kevin C has a lot more small cards in his defending range from the big blind that can connect with the 4. So Ahau just decided to check back and see the queen on the river, which doesn't help his hand. Kevin C.
I'd like to have seen a small bet out here from Kevin C. It's hard to get called by anything. Maybe ace highs could call if you just pop in just a tiny bit. Goes for 31k. Difficult with king high now. Only option is to bluff it, but the more sensible one is to do what the man just did and chuck it in the middle and live to fight another day.
Right, still a very healthy stack. 23 big blind is still plenty of big blind. Take a shot at it, didn't work out. It's okay. It's still early in the game.
As is usual with these exclusive events, the players during the first round or two usually just like to sort of see where they're at, gauge who their opponents are, try to get a sense of how they play, test if they can be or need to be loose or wide with their ranges, just getting a feel.
Start seeing some players also having conversation, some laughters. The players are settling in the at the final table here. Can be a little bit nervous to be with the light and cameras at first, but I'm sure these players will start making some friends.
Pocket nines for K7 poke. Love picking up a solid hand on the button because you're usually not given as much credit as you would be. And nines is a fine hand indeed. His only concern will be the killer. Who's in the big blinds?
Yeah.
Oh my word! And just like that, the killer has picked up jacks. And he's got the big stack, and you know the way this is set up, it's kind of scary actually, because you'd imagine the big stack will do a lot of 3-betting here and there. At least that's your presumption coming into it. If you had that many chips, you'd probably be doing the same. But he's got you absolutely crushed. Let's see what sizing he goes for.
Go for 66k by the look of it.
Yeah, so like 3.5 times the original better's bet. And if I'm K7 poke here, I don't think I'm going anywhere just yet. I feel like I might want to take a flop. What about you?
Yes, I think his hand is very strong. Still be ahead a fair chunk of the time, and he's deep enough to see flop and plays post. So I think it's one of those hands that's also very easy to get away if not if too many overcards comes. And
oh, mind you, he is 4-bet to 143. That is really interesting.
spicy.
Is killer gonna make it 1571, 1571? I wonder.
I think that's a pretty risky move, especially versus a chip leader.
Yeah, because I don't think ace king or ace queen might fold at that point either.
Right,
you know?
and he might open the door actually for killer to go over the top if he has those hands, which is putting him in even more difficult spots. So let's see how he navigates this hand post flop.
Yeah, he should pretty much pray for paint to show up there to give him an excuse to get away from this. If it comes out 8 high or something, he's in a world of hurt. That's actually pretty scary. 2 kings, making it less likely your opponent has one as well. You
Right.
really don't know where you're at this point, because your killer could just as easily have 10s, and that's still beating you, you know?
Yes, this flop is going to be hard for K7 Poke to realize his hand. I think Ace King is probably not part of Killer's hand range, as those Ace King most likely are jamming pre-flop. So maybe King Queen suited is and pocket eights are the strong hands that Killer could has. Small bet and a call.
I like that from Killer now, realizing where he's sort of at in this hand, or very comfortable, as you said, if he's managed to figure out where his opponent's at.
Queen.
Jacks is an interesting one.
Actually very bad card for Killer's hand. Now some of K7 Poker's bluff, like Ace Queen off, gets there.
Went check, check pretty quick on that turn as well. Does K7 try to go for it all here? He's got less than half the pot in his stack, or does he just wave the white flag?
I think K7 Poker probably thinks he has the best hands pre-flop and might be happy to take a showdown. There are not many hands that he can fold out except for pocket 10s and jacks. Once check back the turn. So it'll be ambitious for him to go for a bluff at this point.
He does check back there. Saves himself. Shows some respect to his opponent. Taps on the table. Killer. Stone cold. Killer. 157, 11571 now. No, still 0. He didn't get him. Still 0. But look at that. The decimal places after his chip stack is almost as much as the next highest stack. How about that?
Wow. The rich get richer.
Rich get richer. And the chat grows larger. 78 wonderful people coming in. Early birds today. Hello, chat. How are you today?
Yeah, that was an interesting hand. Button versus big blind. The ranges are very wide. Both players with very good hands. K7 Poker shows that he's not afraid to battle with the chip leader. Back in action here in this hand with the beautiful 9-8 suited and cut off.
Action on Kevin C. We haven't seen his hand just yet. Actions on Killer. Killer does make the call.
With a mystery hand.
Ooh. Ooh.
In the small blind with 9-7 off.
So not many 9s left in the deck. If my math is correct, just 1. And that's going to give a good advantage to K7 Poke. Not only does he have a better kicker, but that suited hand, that suited factor, will play a factor.
How about that?
Oh,
flop?
Killer is just a beast, though. Unstoppable.
This might get KP Poker in trouble as he flop a backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight flush draw as well.
That's right.
On an ace-high flop where he's most likely to continue the aggression as well.
You know, when I heard the phrase 40% of a straight flush, I actually took it seriously. That got me into trouble a couple of times, to tell you how much. A quick call there from Killer.
Dangerous situation developing for Mr. K7 Poker, especially when he pick up the backdoor flush draw to increase his chance. He must think this is a very good bluff card, but no, he just checked back and get to see a river, which does not help him. Saving himself some chips.
I really like that tiny little bet there as well of 25k from Killer. Clearly thinking far ahead about his kills. Has his move ready in hand, as all good assassins do. A7 gets out the way. And though he's had legit hands, this one, of course, the table can't see, so everyone's going to be concerned about Killer. Usually it's the small stack that's the factor, but this time when it's such an overwhelming chip lead, he has, liberty to do almost anything at this point. Like I said, the decimal point on his stack is as much as the next largest stack.
Yeah, looks like Killer is really want to see flop 9-7. Offsuit is good enough for him to make a call from a small blind, so he determined to go out there for blood and get in there battling. I like to see the chip leader that's being in there early on and setting the tone.
And I like to hear you use the word blood. Makes me happy, all warm and tingly inside, just like blood. Nice bet there out of the small blind for Born in 95, not allowing that blind-to-blind situation to allow his opponent to possibly dominate him later down the line. Sets the tone early. He's like, be careful, I'm ready to fight, even out of position. So the immediate dynamic between the two of them has been established early. A7 poke under the gun. He's lost about 15 big blinds since in the last 2-3 hands. More than that, sorry. I think 28 with that first nines hand. Dwindled down to just under 12. Here's Killer with one of my favorite hands.
He's looking like he's interested.
The story behind why that's my favorite hand is, by pure definition, random. Is because I didn't have a random hand, so someone asked me what my random hand, what my favorite hand is, and I said, and I don't think like that. I'm a poker player. This is when I was younger and all snobby about it, and I was like, you know what, just to keep it in the spirit of things, whatever the next hand I'm dealt, that'll become my favorite hand.
Oh.
And I was dealt 10-8, and I won the hand. It was a sizable pot the home game, and I was like, all right, this is my favorite hand.
Awesome.
And then it just got locked in. Yeah.
A true poker player.
Embrace the
randomization.
chaos. Yeah, embrace the chaos.
Yeah, like sometime in poker you have a marginal decision. For example, like between a call or fold. What usually the factor that help you determine to tip the scale one way or the other?
For me personally, is the live element, or just any reads. And if it's online, then I'll use, if they're throwing emojis or something, whatever. You notice someone throwing emojis at you during like a big river bet or something. It's as good as someone talking on a live table when you do it. It's usually a strong hand. So I'll look for anything extra. But if it's really like a 50-50 in my head, then as good as I think some people use like the seconds on their watch.
Yeah.
I usually spin something on the table.
Yeah.
And if it lands this way or that, that'll do. But I don't like to do that and, when they're like good players around, because they're like, "Are you randomizing?"
Yes.
No, just having fun.
Yeah. for live games, I noticed some players also using the mark on their chip. They just kind of like shuffling chips
Oh,
and
yeah.
you see where that
That's a
lands.
good one.
And that can help them just to have a little randomization in their decision when it's a tough tough spot. So these guys, the lazy guy here, going all in with queen 4 from the small blind.
K7 finds a fold actually.
For 10 big blinds, he made the fold. A little bit tight.
Yeah, it would be pretty obvious that he was going to get attacked by someone or the other. And when it's a small blind, it's always so suspicious. The only thing working in his favor in terms of folding was the fact that it was another fairly short stack, so he took that kind of seriously. That guy did jeopardize, let's say, 2/3 of his stack in order to do that, so...
Yes, he is a shortest stack now, so there's less risk to go for that spot. And I'm surprised that he made that fold.
Me too. There's the killer. Folding, born in 1995. Gets rid of the 10-5. 10-8 in the muck as well. Lazy guy out the way. K7 poke. Does he want to return? The small blinds have been the most aggressive people, actually. Out of all the hands we've seen a lot of raises out of the small blind from all these players in these. And there you go.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
interesting.
no, he folded. I thought he announced all in when he put his hands forward there. It would have worked as well. Kevin CCC. We can CCC your card, sir. And it's 7 deuce. You got lucky.
It was suited, though.
It was suited as well. That's another excuse that we hear a lot, right?
Yeah.
But it was suited. Whoa. No, just 13-13.
Oh,
Huh.
trippy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting to see different strategy of players, blind versus blinds. Some like to limp a lot. Some like to raise or fold. It is one of the most fun spot in poker tournament. There's, I think, there's always that element of you think, I think, you think, I think this and that, and
Leveling's great, dude. It's
yeah.
fun. It's not so fun when you level yourself into a horrible call, obviously, but it's fun to think about it while it lasts, let's say. Of course, if you're a thinking player and a professional player, you've got strategies that can help you avoid having to do that. But when pros do it, it's a different level of level. You know?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Suited Superman, you have to do me a favor today. If you catch me leaning forward on the desk too much, just remind me to straighten my back.
Okay.
So I'm
For your
gonna
posture.
starting to feel a little bit of the getting old. Not exactly born in 1995. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's definitely a good thing to be conscious of your posture, especially when you sit at the chair
At the
too
tables,
much.
at the
Yeah.
poker tables. Yeah, you must know. You spend a lot of time.
Yes, I often caught myself in a bad posture as well, and it's not good. As you know, you're gonna feel the pain as you get older. There are really just setting the reminder periodically. It's good to like just kind of self-check your posture and maybe stand up, walk around a little bit to get your blood flows. And yeah, it's in poker. Sometimes you know just hovering over the cards and the chips, and that can lead to some bad posture and can be uncomfortable. So also I've noticed when I just practice good posture, I can feel that I am more present at the table.
Yeah.
And that's also very important in poker, to be making sure you're focused and present and picking up everything you can. In live poker, that's very key. it's something that you want to pay attention to, and having good posture is definitely a big part of that.
And with that last hand playing, the blinds have gone up to 5K, 10K. Lazy guy with Queen Jack under the gun. I think everyone's sort of wanting K7 poke to make his move sooner rather than later. This is why you see some decent hands going into the muck in some of these hands that we've seen in the past. The hand before, I think, 3s and ace-5 folded pre. And here's the killer. He doesn't need a good hand. He can literally afford to do a bunch of stuff.
Yes, suited jacks, good enough for a 2.5x open.
Doyle Brunson. Aha!
Yes, unfortunately that we lost Doyle Brunson this year, the
Yeah.
legend of poker.
Taught me literally everything I know. Because when we started, there was no like online courses or anything. Super System is all I had. You know, Super System and Cars Book of Tells. So that was my everything in, I think, like 2005.
Yes.
It's adorable though. Super System 2, they added a chapter right at the end. It was just a republishing of Super System 1 with a small ended a bit for about online poker. Boy, was it inaccurate.
That should read
The whole book is fabulous, and it's a masterclass in like to see like where formal poker education begun in a sense.
Yes.
But yeah, the online bit not so useful from that. But most of that, like almost more than a third of that book is also like all about the different variations as well of all the stud games and stuff, which you don't actually get too much comprehensive knowledge banks on in the modern day. Mostly limit games get solved fairly easy by the computers.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of nuances that the book will tell you that is still useful and relevant today if you're a fan of mixed games, which of course are on offer in plenty here at APT Hanoi Billions.
Bad of the two short stacks. Lazy guy flops pretty good here. Not much chips left for Born 1995 and a big whiff. Don't know if you want to waste another chips in this situation. Picks up second pair. Might be time to start betting. Protecting his equity. Also likely to have the best hand now after Born 1995 check back the flop. Not showing much strength. Small bet, I like it. Just enough to get the job done, I believe.
Oh, sorry, the chat wasn't loading for me. Sorry, guys. I missed a lot of your stuff. Freeman says, what's up, guys? We're good, we're good. Abhishek Gautam says, LFG, let's go, baby. Jitender is also in the chat. A lot of Indians here, let's go. Jitender is a fan of lazy guys. Well. He's in good shape now. Born 1995, not yet folded. Perhaps thinking about something naughty? No, lets it go. I can see some support for K7 over here as well.
Oh, there we go. Seat 8 is back. I thought he was missing the hand here.
And some more love for K7 in the chat from Charlene.
Killer with the suited king. Lots of short stacks behind him. A walk. Addy, you typically look at your card if you get a walk from the big blind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to look. I like to look.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me even if it's funny because I like to be
Clears
like
mind.
even if it's an aces I'd be like, oh, you guys got lucky just to
Yes.
you know for whatever
Yeah.
reason.
I'm the same. I'm always curious.
Once you've put in a beyond a certain amount of hands, they're all really the same too, so it's no surprises. It's like yeah, okay, we've been walked with aces and kings like multiple times now,
Yeah.
kind of over it. So it's more fun to have it as a distraction for someone else. In fact,
Yes. Okay. All-time pickup. Premium hand. 7 big blind. Surely gonna put it in here.
do you know what the origins of the all-in triangle are though? Why it's a triangle specifically or something?
I do not know the. Oh,
Ooh.
snap call by Killer here. I've seen it before in Europe when they use it, but I don't really know the origins.
Anyone in chat, do you want to find that? Do some Googling for us? Let us know in the chat. What are the origins of the all-in triangle? That's an interesting one. Something I've never actually thought about before. It's become like a standard thing and no one seems to know where it comes from. My. So, K7 poke in commanding shape here. Just needs to dodge a red 3 or a red 4. Ooh, I thought that was it for a second. Yeah. Double up. Thanks, the stars.
He can breathe now. After a rocky start, KP Poke found himself a double up to jump way up to 3rd place. I think maybe the triangle looks like an A, like an all-in with an A. Maybe that could be something related.
That's a good line of thinking.
Yeah, that's
I
my
like
guess.
that. I like
First
that.
guess. And maybe they just don't want another round shape like a dealer button.
Yeah, that's also true.
So triangle is the next popular shape.
Because you do see some players now also just put their hands up and make a triangle symbol instead of saying all in.
Right.
You know, it's definitely sunk into the culture.
Lazy guy with an open King 9 suited off of 15 big.
Ooh, the killer. Relentless killer.
Pausing the conversation.
Yeah.
Assess the situation. Let's see if he decided to size up. this pot. He does. Just enough.
Snap fold from Lazy Guy. Killer adds to his already humongous stack. The only player I think with green chips on the table, if I'm not mistaken. Or one color, I can't tell which it is, but I think he's one of the only players that has that in single color. Or at least he did when it started. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no green
far.
chips over there. Remind me again what the chips are worth.
The
Yellows were 1K?
yellows are 1K. Blues are 5K chips. Greens are 25K. We got
Case and
KP,
Poke's got just one. Right, one tiny little one at the top of his tower.
one green.
One green. But otherwise they are all sitting with one player, and there he is right there. He's got 2 towers of them. 40 of them.
And 2 sixes. Good enough to put the whole table at risk.
Perfect.
Well, actually the big blind at risk.
Perfect for Born
5 big
there.
blind. I can't imagine Born 1995 fold here with one of the really good hand, blind versus blind.
Good to see them keeping it casual and friendly.
Tam bank in play. Having a conversation, laughing.
I think blind to blind, this is just too strong to be folding, to be honest. Your opponent should have so many weak hands just that they're just allowed to bully you with.
Yeah, especially when you're just losing 2.5 big blind every orbit. He is down to a very dangerous zone now. Time to get in there and double up.
There we go. And we're off to the races. King Queen versus sixes. Born 1995 looking to stay alive a little longer, while the killer looking to add another notch to his belt, scalp to his collection.
Up to the flip we go.
Queen in the window. Fist pump from Born. Don't celebrate too yet, mate. Too early, mate. It's poker. That's just tempting fate. Wait for it. And here comes the river. 2 pairs, great. Yeah, that you can celebrate now, mate. Happy, happy. Doubles up to 14 bigs. Doubled up to the just under the red zone. So everyone still needs to do a little bit of work if they've got to catch up to the killer.
The killer's still very healthy. Take a small hit to stack. We are still 6-handed here at the APT Taiwan exclusive, live in Hanoi, Vietnam. Each of these players are guaranteed themselves a seat to the APT main event, which is record smashing. They are almost 2.5x the guaranteed prize pool.
On track at least.
Yes. So very good ticket for a chance to win a lot of money for these players.
A7 poke now. Picked up a legitimate hand, the hangers, pocket sevens. He just takes a look at the clock as well to see how far the next level is. It's already ticked over, so it will be the next hand will be up to 612. And Killer's got an ace, makes a quick call. Ooh, and squeeze opportunities here for ace-5 suited potentially. You think that's something Born 95 can consider?
I think it's a good hand to jam, but from what I see, he might fold because he was thinking for very long with the king queen off earlier.
That is true.
Just 5 big blinds. So, but ace-5 suited is a very good spot. A very good spot to jam. Killer most likely will 3-bet with any strong hand on the button, and K7 poke still can have a lot of hands that he will fold to the jam. I don't know if he was gonna fold pocket sevens, but that would put him in a lot of a very tough spot.
Indeed.
Decent looking flop for KP poke. Let's see if Killer wants to fight for this pot with just ace high. Next to fold. This is why it's pretty tough to play ace-3 offsuit. You often flops not much. Even if you flop a top pair, it's not a comfortable spot to continue. But Killer has a ton of chips and probably look for opportunity to just bust out players and end this. Considering his options every hand, I like to assess the situation. Sometimes you have a good configuration where the big blinds may be too tight. You can start trying to attack with any 2 cards actually, just trying to exploit the situation, and as a chip leader you have that ability and you have the resource to do so. So good to consider all those options. I think if he noticed how the big blind make a very long tank earlier with the king queen off, that's a really good green light for him to start putting on relentless aggression.
Well said.
To steal those precious 2 big blinds.
They were lucky you were not on that table, sir. You're spotting all the spots, finding all the weaknesses. Luckily you're back here. Well, luckily for them, you're back here to help us all in chat with your vast knowledge instead of ruining their days.
Quick bet and a quick fold. Lazy guy.
Here we look at the chip counts again as the blinds go up to 6k, 12k. Oh no, they've already been up, sorry, for 5 minutes. The hand was still on. And that's the updated counts with the adjusted blinds. 150 US dollars is the min cash up top. 1k, you can see it just in back behind the player's head. The stats on the right of Kevin CCCCCC. Did I do enough C's there, or did I do 1 extra?
I think you...
C. I think I did 5.
Yes.
Yep. Happy days.
5 C's.
You reckon that's for Kevin? Call.
Do not bluff me. I will call 5 street.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
That's a limp under the gun, which you haven't seen yet.
All right, mystery hand for Kevin CCCCC.
KP Poke get a free look at the flop with the trashy 9-4. Flop a gut shot. Reaching.
Does make the call.
Good price, why not?
Yeah, just one big blind. Little tester. That'll be some concern to K7 Poke. Potentially one of those gut shot cards eliminated from his outs. Given that he does not have a club himself. And Kevin C. He's going to go for another street.
C for continuation.
25,000 this time. That's fairly chunky. Over a third of the pot. I guess I'd be putting him on like bluffs would be like ace 10.
Yeah. No clubs in his hand. K7 Poke lays it down.
Guess we'll never find out though. The mystery continues, the mystery of Kevin C. And for everyone watching on YouTube as well, please do like the video, share and subscribe. It really helps get more eyeballs and visibility on this fantastic event put on here by the APT in Hanoi, as well as the fantastic work of production team working tirelessly behind the scenes.
然后本来在 FB 的板上问说那张票要不要卖，可不可以转让或者卖掉，换成币这样子。他本来想把。
Anyone, hats off to them. Anyone who had to listen to my voice for like 10 hours a day, I feel for you. I feel for you.
I enjoy it, Daddy.
Thank you.
30几万美金。啊，他抽到每个礼拜都有一个那个什么 GG 的。
And look at our chip leader there. It's a killer. It's going for blood today. So far, trying to eliminate some players, but no success yet. He's still very healthy in chips.
然后本来想要卖掉，卖不掉。因为他达到资格，他没办法卖，那个是不能卖的。一定的，就是你只能硬打，你不能卖，你可以卖股份，但是不可以转成 N8币。
Couple of mucks going round.
硬上，然后上到打到冠军，干超屌，30几万美金。他那算是一个传奇故事。
Decides to let it go. Fair enough.
哦，对。然后再送你，N8再送你5万。他跟以前那个 Money Maker 一样 ，Money Maker 他是打抽杀的 online， 然后打到票，然后再打到那个。
Yeah, K7 Poke have a pretty good, pretty bad seat actually. Having 2 big stacks on his left. A little bit handcuffed right now.
都打小的啦，打小的打上去的。这么多年就抽他们几个而已，再别说。脱口越来越难面对。
Born 1995, it's been fairly tight. Let's see if he's gonna play the King Jack off from early. 11 big blind. Mucks it.
Ahau, who's been quite quiet on this table.
that's a tight fold there on the button with an ace. But again, he's handcuffed by a very sticky chip leader so far. We've seen him making a call with 9-7 offsuit from the small blind, ace-3 offsuit. He's not easy to lay down a hand pre-flop. I think K7 Poker recognized that. And thinks will be having a tough time to win the hand with the ace-6. Wait for another opportunity, for a better hand, a better opportunity. Also, he want to probably wait for shorter stacks to bust, who likely to collide.
Speaking of which, the lazy guy rips it. 7 big blinds, king queen off. Fine candidate indeed.
A7's too weak to get involved here for half of his stack. Leave the duty for the chip leaders.
Jack 4, I think it's just a little too loose for a killer. Oh!
Pocket 8, however.
The tables are turned now.
I think Bond 1995 is going to take 3 minutes, then makes the call. It is for most of his chips, though.
Understandably, and you did have lazy guy jamming into the big stack. That might be a concern for him. But sub 10 big blinds yourself. You've already put 2 of them out there.
Yeah, you're flipping for the most of the time, but you also have can dominate some pairs as well with pocket 8s. I think
Does make the call
that's
on their backs.
a good call. Let's see if he holds. The lazy guy's at risk with king queen. Need some help. No help on the flop. 6 out twice. Turn the king.
195 was doing that little fist air punch celebration again. A little too early, mate. Let the run out happen. Never celebrate too early.
Now he can celebrate with a peace sign. Scooping in the pot, leaving Born 1995 with 33,000 in chips. Severely short now in the small blind.
He's taking it well, though. Understandably disappointed, but not devastated. He's going to lose half his stack already in the small blind this very next hand. So you'd imagine he will be at risk. No pressure on him, of course. Killer's 100% going to open this. $25K it is.
30K.
24, my apologies. Just a min click. Ooh!
This jam would look so strong, though.
Yeah, it really does, because there's no reason to be getting in this pot without anything good when you know that there's that tiny stack that's going to go in. It just screams strength, because who is that crazy to not take a free pay jump?
That's right.
Only the guy with aces or kings.
But if something we see about our chip leader so far, he's willing to gamble a lot. He's gotten there, making calls with very loose hands. And this hand is
So
pretty.
Maybe just call here, you know?
Yes, I think he might just call off with the 10-9 suited, thinking maybe he's up against ace-king, ace-queen. That's very live. And a chance to knock out players also great. Decide to go with the trap.
Yeah, I like
don't
it. This is
mind
what
it.
I wanted to see. Blood, 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 blood. Oh, it's blood. it's blood, ladies and gentlemen.
What the flop.
What the
Killer
flop?
himself. Flop himself. A straight flush draw.
Open-ended at that.
Double check
course.
his cards to make sure.
The top
This-
end's not coming through.
There's no way all the chips are not getting in here.
Yeah. Because now Aha will just be like, I need to protect this hand. And he's going to make a raise.
Look at the percentage, Addy.
Yeah.
How's actually
Ahead.
a dog
I mean, behind, yeah.
in this situation?
Do these factor in the fact that the King of Diamonds is actually in his hand?
It does.
Yeah. Wow, okay.
The statistics here
That's brutal.
is showing 2% dog for a house pocket kings. Goes to show how strong of a draw this is.
It makes the call.
Let's see a action turn card. Safe card for Ahao, but still a lot of cards to dodge.
I don't think I'm willing to let someone get to the river here. If Killer were to bet on this turn, I would just go for it.
He might just go all in here, Addy.
Yeah.
There's only 101k left in Ahao's stack. Checks back.
That's sneaky. Letting himself get to river, and he gets there as well.
Oh my god, to the tune of a 3 of diamond in the form of 3 of diamonds, which is very tough also for how to make a hero fold, as he now beats 2 pairs like Queen Jack.
You can actually see him. He thinks he's won this hand. You can see the shaking there, that release of tension that happens when players think they've got a lock on the pot. Poor lad, he thinks this is Hollywood right now. He's going to get some bad news.
Tam Bank in play. Make it look like he has a tough decision.
And like, give all things considered, a donk jam wouldn't be the worst thing. Like, wouldn't be the worst play at all. I mean, we can see the cards obviously, but
Yeah, I think he wants to get called by a queen or jack.
even
Don't
that-
think Killer ever has a 3. A flush is unlikely as well.
Oh, the fake hesitation, and then goes for pretty much a big chunk.
Just call.
Just call.
Very surprising, Addy.
Yeah.
Very, very surprising. The chip leader let Ahao off the hook.
But Killer, the savage that he is, knows that Ahao's 3 big blinds are going to go for, or 2 big blinds after the next hand. They're going to go for a full orbit where he gets to possibly take advantage of that situation. We've seen this a couple of times before with other players. Could be part of his strategy, although I would have just gone for the kill personally. But who am I to make judgments on a game with 1157? I need to see his name for that number again. But with that many kills.
Yeah. Wow, that was a wow flop.
Yeah, Ahao must be wondering, how am I still in this? Like,
Ahao managed to stay alive
killer all smiles, understandably so. He's had over 1 million chips for the vast majority of this final table so far. Ahow! It's very pretty. It's very tempting. It's very dominated, unfortunately, but it is what it is.
Yeah. He just survived the massive cooler. Does he want to stick it in here with queen high? He is very short. But his buddy on the right there is even shorter, so
That is true.
by folding his hand, he might just guarantee himself a pay jump in the next orbit. I did really like the slow play pre-flop from Hao with the pocket kings. You want to get a full double up, and you want to make sure your opponent has all the ropes, especially from the button. He can have a lot of hands, so doesn't want to go for a 3-bet and get a fold. So applaud to him to not lose his whole stack.
Yeah, definitely well played. Definitely well played.
I think if on the river, if he bet smaller, he get raised. If he shove, he get snapped. But he bet right in the middle where he get the call and leaving himself with some chips and still be in the tournament. As they say, chip in the chair, anything can happen.
Here is the shortest stack right now. He's going to fold. Ahow on the button with a king.
Interesting.
He goes for it, even though Ahow is probably going to eat the automatic blinds soon. K7 poke asking for a count here.
3 big blind. It's pretty close.
He's just checking, once again looking over to the blinds. They must be going up shortly. He makes the call.
I had a feeling he was going to call too. He's out there ready to battle, and first hand 4-bet pocket nines, and here he found himself dominated. Unluckily with the 5-3.
70-30, not the worst. I've been in worse spots. But that is, well, as bad as they come for 3-5 of clubs.
Backdoor wheel draw comes in.
Yeah, any 4 or any 5 now. He can sneak this pot. Will it happen? It will not. Ahow with the full double up. And puts a smile back on his face. Who needs kings when you can get it done king high, right?
Yes. Very happy for Hao. He's free roll his tournament live right now.
Absolutely.
Thanks for that. Born in 1995, is going to be consumed by the big blind in this orbit, so he's hoping to pick up something.
1995 is the year I started supporting Arsenal Football Club.
Alright, cool.
Shout out to my boys. They had an epic victory last night against Luton Town, coming back to win the match 4-3. Any gunners in the chat, make your presence known.
Kevin CCCCC is gonna battle with the chip leader. No fear. You want to C3? It's been quiet so far. No help on the flop. Killer takes it down. Quick bet and fold. I think the goal for Kevin CCCs right now just is trying to get the heads up. I think there's just so many short stacks that are going to bust. No need to be
Greedy.
Yeah, no need to be getting involved too light, especially versus the chip leader.
Yeah. Sometimes it's nice for me personally because I just like to play hands. I like to play poker. I like to play, so I get a little frustrated sometimes. But it's cool when sometimes there's a big stack just doing all the work on a final table, eliminating people. You're just sitting there with like 20 bigs plus, making money, doing nothing.
Right.
That has some merit to it as well.
$27K. Is Queen 10 off good enough?
I mean, he's going to get the big blind next, so it's basically down to whether he thinks he's going to get a random hand better than Queen 10 next. And the other factor that he has to get through the whole table with Queen 10, which is another thingy, but I don't think it really makes a difference at that point.
Yeah, that's...
When I'm that short, I actually, I'm desperate at that point anyway, so I'll take all 5 of you if I need to, because I want to get back in this thing, you know?
Right.
Doubling up to 4 is not going to do me much good.
Yeah, I don't think it's very easy to the short stacks behind him to make a light call, because the 2 big stacks are in the blinds.
Yeah,
so that might be a good spot for him to just go with it, and maybe one of the big stack will make a light call and you get a double up. So surprised at the fold, but he might have got some action from Kevin C with ace-8. He shoved. Killer out flop Kevin C again in this hand. Puts out a small bet and a call from Kevin for a gut shots. Turns doesn't help Kevin. Check, check, river. Ace high, no good. And another pot shipped to the chip leader. 112 big blind. Massive stack.
The decimal point almost 2 times his opponent's stack.
I think did the blind go up?
I believe so.
Oh, that's why all the chips are in middle now. For
Yep, they have. You can see a house just down to 7 bigs there. Lazy guy. Jack 10 suited. Or did they?
it looks
They
the
did.
same.
They
but
did. The graphics just
but I
haven't
don't
updated
see
yet.
any chips behind from Mr. 1995. Oh, he picks up a decent hand. King 10. Better than last hand.
Indeed. Wouldn't you know it?
Know something.
Intuition was on point.
You still have to dodge the queen, the 4, the diamonds.
Oh, he doesn't want to see diamonds again. Oh, that was another player, sorry. Does see a
Hearts.
10. It's a good start.
And hearts. Stranglehold in this hand.
Two pair makes things interesting. Right. Now only losing to a queen. That's not a heart. So it's pretty much guaranteed for him, unless... Nope, not gonna happen. Double up for Born 1995. More than double up because blinds went up. And he had less, but his opponent had to put in the updated blind amount, or at least multiples of.
Yeah, not quite out of the danger zone yet. Still 3 big blind. But that earned himself a few free hands after. I think there's also a great incentive for Killer as well to just keep a couple of really short stack
Yeah.
in the game and just abusing the situation. Chips is risking is very small percentage of his stack, and the players' goals are just to ladder up each other. So it should be a lot tighter. Killer with the 2 baby stack in the blinds.
He's so tempted. He knows he wants to.
Giving off a little bit of a tell here with the I'm not that strong, but I really want to.
Lets them perhaps battle it out. Good instincts, because this is a slam dunk all in here from Born 1995.
Big smile on his face before all the chips go in the middle, I assume. There they go.
Chips it.
Now has just 14k chips more.
It's kind of brutal, actually.
But it was
seemed
suited.
crazy, but it's not the craziest, yeah.
30%, not too bad.
10% per big blind. Why not?
Hearts versus diamonds. Let's see some.
You said it. You said you asked for it.
Bit of a sweat there for Born 1995.
6 hearts.
Even more out now. A 7 now could make a straight for. Oh, that should complete the straight.
Yeah, it's GG's.
That is it for Born 1995. Our first player eliminated.
Tells one of his friends clearly, take it down. Does the walk out to probably room number 2 where the main event day 1C is underway. When I checked in the morning, we had 168 people registered there. I'm sure that's gone over 200 by now. If you want to find out exactly how much, you can check out apt.poker and get all the updates from the team doing all the live reporting on ground.
Killer with a playable hand on the cutoff. Opens up. 35 looks like. Got it through. All three players are similar stack. Lazy Guy, KP Poke, and a How. All players who are left already guaranteed themselves $250, $1,000 up top to fight for. And the man, the killer, 157-11570 is our chip leader with most of the chip in play. Is the favorite for that top spot. He is not waiting for good hands. He's out there looking for every spot to take the chips from his opponents. Raising here in the cutoff with 10-4 suited. K7 Poke has been one of the opponents that were putting the fight with the chip leader, but he is short now and certainly don't want to lose any more chips, even getting a decent price in the big blind.
Indeed, yeah. K7 Poke was the only guy who looked like he wanted to take it to the streets a little bit. Lost the majority of his stack right in the beginning, like 5th hand or something. 9s versus jacks. But yeah, oh, here we go. Blind to blind also. Could get
It's a good
lighter calls than you would get from any other position.
I think he might just limp this hand, just begging for action. All in. Might get action here. Kevin CCC.
Snap calls with
quick
King
call.
Queen.
Only one over, but it's not over. King Queen versus Pocket Queens. Pocket Queens at risk.
Ooh, gut shot in play now.
Some
Essentially, like having 2 overcards again.
spade.
Ooh, opportunities though to save.
Secure.
Sekiro. You played that game yet?
Whoa.
Oh,
Wow.
he makes a straight for good measure, but it's not the top end. Not as far on the top end as Kevin C. K7 Poke, hard luck there.
Unfortunate for K7 Poke to pick up a premium hand, but not enough to beat his opponent straight. Congratulations for a great performance. Unlucky with the first hand, like you said, pocket 9s to pocket jacks early on was definitely a big hit to his stack. Never was able to recover.
Kevin's stuck to his strategy and it's worked out well. It's, I think, exactly what you were saying. He was just sort of hanging around, letting the chip leader do the work and trying to make sure he keeps his stack above a healthy threshold. Has done well to navigate this It's quite a unique situation. You don't often see a chip leader with that much of a command. Might be forced to tango here with ace king.
Just with the limp. Curler wisely check it back. Flopped a decent piece. Bottom pair. And a gut shot. Straight draw. Kevin C also with the gut shot. That's then 2 over cards. Check on the turn.
这么大，那你不 OK？
Killer's gonna take it down with a pair of threes.
他们，我一定尊重你的 OK。
Also get to see his opponent ace king as well. Seeing the trap being set for him and happy to spike a 3 to takes it down, but yeah, I'm sure he noticed that and take note of that.
你这边有几个绿色？一个，一颗还是一桶？一颗哦。
Kevin C still in the second place, so
距离的关系，我反光我会看不清楚蓝。
Don't forget APT Influencer Challenge scheduled at 6:30. You can see it in the ticker down there.
the computer hand.
Does a quick eyes up his opponent's stacks. Says I'm all in, or at least puts the decimal points in.
Getting chips in play.
We haven't seen Ahao's hand here. It looks like he's got something like King 5 the way he's acting, you know? King Queen,
Oh.
alright.
This is a Hollywood, you think?
Yeah, a little bit.
He is a shorter stack, king queen suited. There is no way
There's, yeah,
he's folding this hand.
no chance. I'd be shocked.
Wasting his tab bank, however. No, don't fold. Aha.
No, don't do it. There you go.
Okay.
Alright, in good shape to get a double up. Don't celebrate too early, mate.
Yeah.
So a little fist bump there. Don't. Let the flop happen. Let the turn happen. Alright. Can he dodge? Ooh. Oh, his hand just got much stronger. Now 90% favorite to win this. Only loses to a red 7 or the 7 of spades. Maybe some running straight situation as well. Now just a 7. Otherwise he gets a full double up. Does it always come? Not today. Ahau jumps up to 11 big blinds. Killer still has 1.4 million though, so he won't be too disappointed. He can afford to do that a few times before it's of any concern.
He does.
All right, we have the champion of the single day high roller.
Now the lazy guy
from Russia.
He is the shortest stack and going to be in the big blind this hand. Feeling the pressure.
So I think a winner was just announced out there. Someone's won one of the side events. I believe I heard the name Natalia.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, yes.
他刚5 BB 啊，反正我一看他只有10万啊，7输顶够，7输顶够，然后只是刚好 OK 压制。
So, I got an idea. Chat, don't tell anyone, okay? This is between us. But what I'm thinking is they cancel a couple events. They got a couple of spare trophies, yeah?
Yes.
What if there was a magical heads-up commentators event?
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
that would be awesome.
Mhm.
Yes. Let us suggest them to, get us one of the trophy reserved.
Yeah, otherwise I'm calling killer.
Good idea. What would be your game of choice if we were to play some heads up?
I think it's heads up. I've never done mixed game heads up, but I don't know that many mixed games. So the only games I know beyond NLHE and Hold'em are 5-card and 7-card stud.
Oh, that's
Those
fun.
kind of boring for tourneys, though, to be honest. So we'll probably just rotate between PLO4 and Hold'em.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah. PLO's your jam, no?
PLO, yeah, I enjoy PLO. I don't play a lot of PLO tournament, but yeah, it's
Heads up is
yeah.
always like fun.
Oh, we got an all-in here and a call. Lazy guy at risk. Ahead. Way ahead now with the flush draw as well to go along with this already good king high. Need to fade. And no!
Binks the king on the river.
Unfortunate run out for the lazy guy. And he is out of the
GG's.
tournament.
Well played, and there we go. We're down to just 3. How very happy to have picked up that double up just before this happened. Otherwise, he would have been like sitting on 2 or 3 big blinds. But now, between at least Kevin and Ahau, either of these guys could make it to heads up. Be surprised if Killer didn't. Stranger things have happened in poker, but still.
$500 now is locked up for each of the players. The next pay jump is $750 USD, and top price $1,000 USD, and a trophy. And Mr. Killer here with all the chips.
There you go. Decimal points are in. When I say that, folks, that's because everything after 1 million, after the 1 point whatever he has, is more than what his opponents have. So he just keeps putting in that stat, covering
He
them
got
all.
the action.
Got the action. Could Ahau be on his way to heads up? He will be if there's no 8 on that board.
Ace 8 versus Ace Jack. Ace Jack of Kevin C at risk.
Oh, Ahau folded ace 5 as well. How about that? Some psychic powers in play there.
Yeah, that's gonna allow him a chance to get heads up if Kevin can't hold.
The case
Ooh.
ace comes just for fun. Imagine this. This would have been a
Ace
good sweat
five
for
heart.
Ahau.
Yes.
Ahau.
Some opportunity.
Paint above a jack or an 8. Only way that Killer can get the hand.
Not enough.
Full double up then for Kevin. Back where he wanted to be.
Yeah, close the gap now between him and the chip leader.
And the blinds are up, right? Yeah, we're at 1020K as well.
左四张 A， 有法度，有法度啊。
House a short stack now. Kevin C in the small blind with ace-4 of diamond. Limps in, keep it consistent. He's been limping in from the small blind. Killer wakes up with pocket jiggities. Bump it up, understandably. To 60k. 3x gets a quick call from Kevin C, and we're after the flop. Ace in the window, jack follow. Trouble for Kevin C here. Flopping top pair in a blind versus blind situation. Quick bet by Killer with a bottom set. Tragic situation developing for Kevin C. Call on the flop. We see the 9 of diamond. On the turn, doesn't change much. It is going to be very tough for Kevin C to not lose more chips in this situation. The chip leader has been aggressive all day, and this time he picks up a very strong hand, and let's see if he believes Killer here.
What's that, 75, 80-ish? Trying to get
Some of the chips felt. Giving Kevin C.
Yeah,
a
there's
better
70
price.
right there. Sizing there from Killer. Pretty much giving them, trying to get it to 1-1 on the river, allowing him to go kaboom.
There is no flush draw out there. Kevin C with top pair.
Blind to blind, kind of brutal.
Ace with a bad card. Queen
Ooh,
might save
Queen
him.
might slave him just a bit. And now Killer, just for safety's sake.
Killer has been very happy to check down this spot so far. I think he's, with his demeanor, he might just knock
But I
it
mean,
back.
it's really only like I didn't see the action pre-flop. No, I went to go
Yeah.
get a tissue. What had happened
So
there?
Kevin limp pre-flop
Limp
from the small
pre-flop.
blind,
Okay.
and Killer raises.
Mhm.
Kevin calls, 3 big blind raise.
Okay, so like
and
tens and ace 10 unlikely.
Yes, I think it's
Ace
pretty
10, ace
tight.
10 likely, but maybe, but 10's less likely for sure.
Yeah, that's seems to fit the theme of Killer. Earlier, he just made the call at the flush, the 10 high flush. That's against pocket kings. So I think he just want to be on the safe side and check it back with a bad run out.
I do feel like he could have quite comfortably gone for it over there.
Yes, I don't
Really
think
hard, like on the street, because he did face action. It's not like this guy was playing 10-9
Right.
hoping to get there, you know?
Yeah, I don't think he needs to go for a very big bet. He can bet small and then maybe just fold if Kevin C decided to go over the top, as you know, there's not many hands that would bluff on the river. So betting
true.
small on the river is probably the play, but decided to make the safe play. Ho has a decent hand in the big blind, facing just a limp from the chip leader.
Tell you what, if this guy took me out one day, at least he'd be doing it with a smile. If I'm ever assassinated, I'd like it to be by him.
Killer makes the call. Want to see a flop with the queen 5. Good flop for Hao. Top pair. Probably not want to give a feed card to his opponent. There's so many draws out there. Flush draw, straight draw available.
And Hao doing well to get his stack to a healthier spot. Still at the bottom of the pack, but the pack is only 3, and that can change very quickly.
Fearless Killer. Bump it up with a 5 high.
I like it. He's got a good understanding that the blinds will start slowly catch up and narrow that gap down between them, so he's trying to steal as much as possible. Kevin's picked up a very legitimate hand here. Almost 100 people watching right now on YouTube. Welcome. Who do you think is going to take it, guys? I'd like to hear your predictions. Who are you supporting?
Big goal in from Kevin. Took it down.
Well done. Showing no fear there in the face of the chip leader. Jamming the whole stack in.
Three players left in the APT Taiwan exclusive, live here in Hanoi. As you're watching, we are having main event day 1 C and D today. Come on down if you're in or around Hanoi. There's still a chance to be part of this record-breaking main event. Queen Jack 6.
blinds up as well. 10K, 25K. Which is bad news, of course, for Ahao, our short stack, who's currently in the big blind. He's only got 200K and he has to put in a quarter of that every time it's his big blind. Does make the call here. Killer catches bottom pair here. Checks. So neither here nor there, so the board. But Aha at the moment, thinking maybe his hand is not very good, and a bet maybe just takes it down, gets it done over here. He's gonna try his luck. I don't know if Killer folds bottom pair. There you have the call. Nine of hearts, check back, check from Killer again. How does he continue? You can't imagine King High is going to be very good. There are no real draws out there for him to improve to. And it's a bricky sort of turn, so a big bet here.
All in.
And I think he knows that as well. So he's made that big bet, which is all of it. And it's down to Killer. Can he find a hero call here? Kind of tough. You block hands like Queen 10 that might be bluffing. What do you reckon, mate? Too thin? But
yeah, I think it's first aggression we see from Ahao that's
yeah, also
might
a
work
factor.
out. Maybe he take advantage of his tight image, and Killer hasn't shown much aggression. He's check called the flop. Did not lead out, so probably doesn't have a lot of top pair. He's trying to fold out bottom pair, middle pair like a 5. A 9 is another over card to those two cards, so good opportunity for him to take it down, and he's took the chance. Maybe he can fold out some ace high as well to float. Successfully, he took it down.
Well played, sir. Shows the chip leader that he's not one to be pushed around, even though he's the short stack. Why don't you try Kevin instead? I'll just sit here on my 13 big blinds and try to run it up.
Yes, he's a shortest stack now, so he has to fight. No one else to wait to be busted, so ball time aggression. How picks up another decent hand in the small blind. Let's see how he plays. Comes in for a raise. to the tune of 60k, and Kevin with ace 4. Decent hand, and covering the stack of a hull. Is going to raise, he said. Likely to commit himself to this pot. 150,000. What does Aho thinking here? Is this hand good enough to 4-bet jam?
I mean, he's just run one bluff on the chip leader. I'm not sure if he's willing to go for make it 2 for 2. He's going to use a time bank and think about it though.
Yeah, I don't think his hand is good at this point, but there are some flippy situation that he might want to just take. Just get a double up, but I don't know. It's not easy.
Yeah. It
Just
does make a call though.
just
It
call.
peels and we go to the flop. How interesting.
Maybe you want to get away from his hand if there's an ace on the flop or not connecting.
I'd like to see what Kevin's face looks like now, because this is a slightly light 3-bet. Wonder what he'll do on the flop. Aha. Well.
A whole lot of nothing for Hao.
Mm-hmm. And Kevin wasting 0 time. Speed of the aggression. It's going to lead to a snap fold. Really can't do much. And I like the jam from Kevin as well. You do that with 6s plus quite comfortably.
Yeah, Hao lost a chunk of his chips, but still in it. Yeah, I'm not sure what's the play there with facing the non-all-in 3-bet. Seems very strong, actually, as opposed to a jam. Not having much full equity even re-jam, and at the same time it's sucks to pay and pick up.
That graphic can't be right, can it?
Kevin still has his cards in front of him.
There we go.
He goes with his same strategy he's been doing. Limping with ace-king, limping with pocket kings. And earlier with ace-4 suited.
And it's worked, look at that.
Let's see if Killer gets away from this, because he did see earlier that Kevin limped in with ace-king. Sneakily got the showdown, and he got to see that there are some premium hands in Kevin's overall range. He did not just have big hands. He did not just have hands that he want to split between raising and calling. He basically limped everything, and now seeing the 3-bet. Quite a large size.
Killer does not look happy about that at all.
Does he want to gamble here and give up the chip lead?
That's right. It would be that he's had the entire match. He is counting out the chips required to call. He does make the call here. All right, a very important flop coming right up here. I don't want to see an ace, mate. I don't want to see an ace. I want to see some action.
Yeah, wow. Let's see.
Okay, that's pretty good for Kevin, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a look at his acting skills now. Really doesn't have much option when you flop this strong, but to check and hope your opponent, let your opponent catch up. Oh, but he does lead out there. I think that's going to lose him some value. There's no way Fours wants to continue unless he thinks his opponent is bluffing for some wild reason, and specifically the only thing that's there is ace queen. That you beat anyway. So some queen jack suited, I suppose. But yeah, I think Kevin getting a little greedy there. Choosing to donk bet into killer. Saves killer from losing any more chips. And he does retain the lead by just 3 big blinds.
Important pot there for Kevin C. Getting a lot of value pre-flop.
And now maybe a little nerves might start to creep in to the mind of the killer. Chip leader the whole time. No one was even close. Nowhere close. And all of a sudden, it's almost even Stevens. And now here comes Kevin, full of confidence and gusto. Could he be a little flustered from that last hand? Yeah, he seems like he's... oh no, I was going to say, he seems like he's... Did look a little stressed there. Almost like he was about to take a stand and, you know,
Yes.
be like, give me my chips back.
Yeah, Hold's getting short too. 5 big blind.
Yeah, he's going to need to make something happen for himself soon, because his stack is just not relevant at the moment between these two.
3-handed, the blinds come around. Super quick. So, oh, it's a call.
It's just
Thought
a
he went
call,
all in.
yeah.
He doesn't want to see a queen. Let's see if Kevin followed through on this board. Right away putting out a bet.
$30K. Type of size that says you can't really call, you need to jam, or you need to fold.
Yeah, two too much for Hao to do anything here. Use his last time bank. Precious time bank. He does have a free hand next hand, and maybe that's a better opportunity to get it in.
That is true.
Not much time left to make a decision. Folds finally.
So, circling the pit of no return is a Hao.
Kevin C took the chip lead with this pot for the first time.
And yeah, mind you, while Killer has been, of course, dominant with that big stack and has played nice and aggressive, I do like the way Kevin has navigated himself overall throughout this whole
Yes,
final table. You
I
know,
really like his small blind strategy. Just mixing in some top premium hands within the limping strategy, and just keep Killer guessing, and definitely effectively got Killer to open up a little bit too wide and capturing that value pre-flop.
absolutely. Here we go. Here's Killer on the button with a king.
Checking out the short stack, seeing how much the damage it would be if he gets involved.
Oh, here we go.
There ain't no better spot.
Why does he look upset? He's got a pocket pair and 3 big blinds. It doesn't get much better than this, mate. All in announced. It's like good news is that if Kevin gets out the way, Killer's got one less out. Don't imagine Killer's going to fold. It's only another 50k. He's already put 50 in there.
Kevin C might want to get involved and maybe like just
The
team
old,
up.
yeah, as they do. I think that's what's going to happen. Oh, let's have some blood. Let's have it go 9-9-9-9-5 on the flop.
Yeah. Then that might be over.
All right, these gentlemen will play for a side pot now. Goes check, check, understandably. Feels a little mean if you're sitting in a house shoes.
Oh! Spike
Let's
the
go.
5.
He's got the 5
Win a check mark.
from the brink.
There is no card in the river that would cause a hoe to lose his hand, and you get to show the winning hand.
Well done there, and that's a lovely hand for us to take a quick break on. And the players themselves, we will be back with this APT Taiwan exclusive final table, 3-handed. It's getting excited. How coming back from literally the brinks of beyond. We'll see you guys in a little bit.
要多少？1000。
1000啊
25000吗？
对，25000。
I need to change the done.
算是 A。哎，不要奇怪，时候说欧一门，然后在那边想半天，是一个不用想的牌，那就糟糕了。是蛮强的，是蛮强的，这我认。刚已经亏了6万了。哎呀，好，第一张就看到了。差一点哦。
再顶啊！
左右都开了哦，
顶要顶啊！
左右都开了哦，来哦，
要顶啊了。
那边
叫中洞，
对啊，你要顶到底啊！
你就6万多，差不多吧。这是一场反过来了，这是一场反过来了。
要中了。KQ 了。
这位是不是会是一个下一个王子？哎呀，不太好，国王皇后都没来哦。吃到了老王。
哇！对了 ，KQ 有0。
靠霸主，能不能靠一下？
那边。
没办法。图也是死啊，搭配对 KK 啊，也想我。还有下一下。我为什么要给我希望？ 哇！我买你家的红花顺。哇！嘿，不亏回来。嘿，你花了多少个 K？问你。这么强！我操！哇！对啊，我的话是我的。女人当家，国民演出。女人当家，一个国一个皇后，看谁比较大。红心哦，你的，完全压制。又小活了2分钟，没办法，开出来就被这样子。过了。他的牌比我大，没办法。因为开出来是他的面的，3红心他有我没有，直接完全压制。那有点迟到了，怕太冷清，还舍不得让他走，怕台面太冷清。
玩笑，你在一起还没你高。
筹码霸凌。每个发生意外，每次帮人家补马。
筹码这么短，打翻牌后。
补马之术。
打翻后很精彩。
蛮精彩的。
跟你抢啊，跟你心算一下。
400, 800, 800 is grinding. 400, 800, 800 is grinding.
应该不会被压制。
没被压制，对，不同路，4、5还不错，我也是这样想的，连接不错，
是我们只网破的时候了。
你说你刚刚3、5也是觉得是吧？但你那个真的要扶那一边，我都要扶，不能闪啊，基本上，除非2、3哦，对，2、3就整。不错，好像
做没有用，
要拍要准备走人了。
开一张红心给我。
哇，准备走人，真的开出来了。很发谢谢，谢谢大家，
And we are back. 3 players remaining. It would have been 2 players if it wasn't for a magical 5 on the turn for Ahau just before we took the break. I'm Aditya Vadvani, here to bring you right till the death of this final table. The players we have in front of us from Taiwan in this APT exclusive. We got Killer. We got Ahau, who's the short stack in red, just off your screen, waving. Sounded like he knew I was talking to him. Lovely. And Kevin CCCCC. CCCCC. Yeah, I did it. Got it right. And of course, welcome back everyone watching online. Who do you think it's going to be? Who do you support? Drop a message. Send your support, your love. Whatever you want, send it. Jax for Ahau. Coming back with fire. Right after the break. Back-to-back pocket pairs. Good life. Kevin C. Oh, Kevin C. Folds the ace-10 and leaves it up to Killer. I'm surprised to see that. Killer. Getting frisky here. An ace on the flop might slow things down. But not if you're Ahau. Should lead to some quick folds, and sure enough, it does. The blinds are, of course, up. We are now at 15K, 30K. We had 20-minute levels throughout this whole event. 192 to start, whittled down to 6, all of which who got a main event? That's a funny word. Main event seat is what I was trying to say. That's worth $1,500 US. Up top in this current event, 1K. And Killer now with pocket 10s out of the small blind. Looking to put the aggression and the pressure on Ahau, who's still a short stack. He's picked up a bit of a suited hand. Lets it go. Killer, who, if you're just joining us, was the overall chip leader for, I'd say, 90% of the stream that we've had on here now for the last couple of hours. Here. Maybe with some devious thoughts. Makes the call. Sticky, sticky. And Kevin C has got pocket tens. Well, well, well. Kevin wasting no time. Not wanting the limper. Punish the limper, as they say. Punishing the limper.
Last 5 seconds. 4, 3.
And if you notice, you heard our dealer counting down there. That is because Ahau has no time bank chips left, so he will have only 30 seconds to make every single decision so far left on this final table. So that's going to put a little bit of extra added pressure on him, added to the fact that he is the short stack with 10 big blinds seated between two very capable players here at this event. This is the last free hand for this orbit that he gets. Jack 6 off, probably not good enough. It would take some sort of spectacular cooler for him to ladder his way to heads up here. So right now both his opponents are pretty much going to lean on him until he busts. That would be the general plan of action. Kevin, the current chip leader, not wanting to give that chip lead away, and has some great intuition there as his opponent, Killer 157, 11570, would have had ace queen. But it'll only take one double up to swap places with someone as far as Ahau is concerned. That's what he'll be hoping for. This time Ahau in the big blind, and it is that big blind with the big blind ante, so has to pay a lot, 60k every time you're in that spot. Deuces never loses. Killer with queen deuce of diamonds. Again with that perplexed look, just thinking about it, thinking correctly, letting it go, allowing the pressure to be on that big blind. Licking his lips, wondering what to do here. Time bank pressure is on. 10 seconds left for him to make his decision. 5 seconds left. Folds. Running away, I think that was his phone, which are not, of course, allowed on the table, that he had to go and attend to for a second, turn it off. It was ringing in the background. Killer with Jack 8 off. Neither here, neither there. Gonna try and let some collisions happen again. King 5 for Ahau. 30-second clock again pressured on him. Thinking long and hard. Announces all in. Ooh, and this could be callable if you're Kevin. Why not? It's a beautiful hand. The blinds are about to go up. He just looked at the clock over there to double check. He does make the call. He is behind, but as you can see by those percentages, not by much, 54 to 46. Ahau in the lead, but also at risk. Needs to avoid a queen, 10, or 4 diamonds. It's a queen 10 on the flop. That's going to be a pretty solid lock, barring running straights now or 2 pairs. Very unlikely. Ooh, okay. A king just came back into the fray. So just 3 outs. Can he get there? He cannot. And that's it. We are down to heads up. Well played, Ahau. Taking home around 500. Taking home around 500 US dollars for his efforts. Very well played. Came back from death a couple of times. And we are going to take a short break while we set up for heads up. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be a fun one. These players have been exciting to watch, and I think heads up is going to be equally exciting. See you guys shortly.
多了4张出来，我这个4张。啊，还有 chop， 还有反 chop， 还买2张2号。哎呀，哎呀，这没办法，这个正打你也得死，正打你中顺你也得死。 对啊，可惜啊。然后那种，跟我干的太多。没打来的。走一个 ，open 就不能甩，就是主要是筹码太少。相对于我们两个，筹码都是5DD 上下那种状况，
活动之间呐，5DD 上下都有顺的机会。
这2手都失败，就格局重新来过。方块，哎，又是在人家的，
对，跟刚玩一样。
靠，真怎么样？来吧，
大家又开一张桌。
又是落后。 好，sorry。4个奥，来出来。OK。没想吧？好，对，一个处理到。好。 好了吧？ 不然我干嘛推你？
可以很合理，
没办法，
非常合理。
好吧，我先起球下粉，都可以，
我这样推有点难。
我起球下粉。来个叠牌吧，27，27之后还再开一个 Q。
对啊，好难哦。
哎，有机会哦，有机会哦。Queen， 啊，失败。
四张 A 都开出来了。
开这种面就没办法，开这种面
我 A 5
已经打完了。
我 A 5处理，四张 A 都可以开出来。
哦，你 A 有数点。来，你来。我操，这么大！欧印要让牌。OK。好，我们还当到一张。他也是领先啊，刚刚领先到。
看你扣我，
哎，他休息了。
看你扣我都快跳出来了。
这是正常的状况啊。
根本不了。
猜最后是个你，今天的运气太强，不错，没错。对啊，落后跑赢，领先扛下。扣了，哎呀，哦，领主，对。哪里不分？哎呀，多了4张出来，对，这个啊，还有chop，还要反chop，还买2张2号。哎呀，这没办法，这个正打你也得死，正打你中顺你也得死。 加油！可惜啊。然后那种这种干的太多了。
每一档来个。
手一个 open 就不能甩，64。主要是筹码太少。相对于我们两个也是筹码都是5BB 上下那种状况，
活动之间呐
，5BB 上下
大家都有顺的机会。
这两手都失败就格局重新来过。方块，哎，又是在人家那。
对，跟刚蛮像。
靠，真不妙，来吧。
大家都开一张出来。
又是落后。好，sorry。
4个奥。
Welcome back to the final table of the APT Taiwan exclusive event. I'm Aditya Vadvani, bringing you the heads-up action. You can see the trophies on the table. It is Kevin CC versus Killer. I'm going to have to wait for his name to pop up because I can't remember the big number next to his name. I only know that's the number of souls that he has collected being a killer. There it is, Killer 157-11570, looking to make it a couple more. 7 deuce was a little too loose, he lets it go. Kevin C is the chip leader right now, got twice as much as his opponent, but that wasn't always the case. That's not how it started. Killer, at one point in this event, had 1.4 million, and no one else had larger than 240,000 chips. Imagine that. So it's been an interesting journey with Kevin CX5, I'm just to say Kevin, taking the chip lead just a few hands before we went to the break. Okay, little overkill on this flop for Killer, given that Kevin's not got anything and he's got my favorite hand, 10-8, making 2 pair. But the blinds are large, 15K, 30K, so every pot that goes your way is worth a decent chunk of change. And as we've seen when it comes to these final tables and heads up, the best course of action definitely isn't to play too cautiously, because with 20-minute levels, those blinds do catch up to you, essentially reducing any edge that one might have further and further, and leaving it more down to the hands of fate, if you will. Alrighty, and now Killer's got my favorite hand again. Sorry, last time Kevin had it, this time Killer has it. But enough about that, let's go to the poker and see what they're actually planning to do with it. Kevin with the Robbie makes a bet of 30K. and get the fold. So quick hands going on between these two, which we like to see. Get to see a lot of hands and heads up. 5 minutes till the level goes up as well, so only a hand or two. We are, of course, streaming live on YouTube right now. A lot of people tuned in to see these two gentlemen from Taiwan battle it out. Who do you think is going to win? Let us know. A limp from Killer, and Kevin raises. Killer comes along, and how about that for a flop? Kevin catching middle pair, but Killer with a gut shot and the flush draw. Kevin with a jack and a backdoor Broadway draw. Both players will like their hands. Kevin checking the action. It seems like Killer's reaching out for some chips there. Does fire in a bet. Let's check it out. 60k, just 2 big blinds. I don't think that's going to be enough to scare off Kevin, who does make the call rather quickly. Ooh, and the flush getting there. Kevin just sort of twitched like he knew that was not a good card. Let's see if his intuition is on point. Let's see if he can save him. I mean, his hand isn't that strong as it is, so won't be that difficult to make a fold if Killer fires out a big bet. But it looks like he just fired out like 150k. It's about half the pot. And you'd like to maybe hope he would take a minute to think about it, but he doesn't. 150 was large. He is facing an aggressive opponent, though. Killer has shown that he's willing to get involved with a very wide range of hands as well. So that could be a factor in Kevin's decision there, making the call. Regardless, he does take a stab, finds out that he is well behind the flush of Killer, and now stacks are level. Heads up, of course, ranges do widen up in general, because you can't just sit there waiting for hands, giving your opponent a clue that you're tidy. They will take advantage of that almost every time if they get a whiff. Poker players are by nature savages. Neck and neck. Advantage currently back in Killer's favor, and even though it's only one big blind, that might as well be 100, because the power of not being able to go broke and bust out is almost everything, especially when the focus is to win that trophy that you see there on your right, the new era APT Lion trophies. Looking very sharp. Here's Killer again with not a great hand. He'll want to start mixing in some calls with hands like that at some point, because, like I said, you can't be too over-reliant on the cards themselves, and you will have to start bringing in weaker hands into your range. Otherwise, you become a little bit too predictable for heads up overall. And here we go, the first premium of this final table. Heads up match. Killer with pocket queens. 2-3 suited in position. Alright, the graphics just being adjusted there. Killer makes a race to 85k. Kevin makes the call. 5-10-8. Seemingly innocuous for Killer's hand. Queens will be comfortable, and if you could see that he's a 96% favorite, he would definitely feel very comfortable. Kevin, on the other hand, not really getting anything to work with, not even a single heart, so that does look like he's going to attempt at least minimum one street worth of bluffs, because that seems to be the only way he's going to win this one as far as his actual holdings are concerned. All in announced. Kevin's going to pretend to think about it for a minute and let it go, of course. Massively aggressive there from Killer. Understanding the name of the game, No Limit Texas Hold'em. Name of the game, put a man or a woman to a decision for their chips and see what's up. And again, having that heads up, having that chip lead heads up, does mean that when you pull the trigger, your opponent has to be right, or they're out. And that is the power. Kevin, Killer, abusing said power very effectively. Perhaps concerned that his opponent might have an ace or king of some sort in their hand that he would not like to catch up. And just laying down the hammer, declaring all in to get in the fold. Not picking up a suited connector himself in position. King 10 is pretty monster hand. Heads up. One thing you have noticed is there are not too many 3-bets that come from these guys unless they do actually have premiums, which is something that they'll want to take a look at later on in their poker journeys. Killer with the backdoor flush draw and the gut shot and position. Fires out a small bet. Gets a quick fold from Kevin. And once again, now almost twice as many chips as his opponent. In really good shape here is Killer. Kevin cannot afford to make a mistake at this point. He's got to maintain his calm, his composure, as he's done throughout this entire final table. And 100 of you watching on YouTube. Remember, I can see the comments. I'm looking out for your questions as well. If you've got any, please write them. I will only be able to respond to the ones in English, though. No form at the moment. players, however, are on form, battling their way down from 192 players. Blinds did go up a hand or two ago, so we're at 2040. 80k every time you're the big blind you have to put out. Keep that in mind. And it is alarming how fast it can get out of control when those blinds get so large. Nice raise here from Kevin with the king. Killer, sticky as always. Whenever he has the chip lead, he isn't usually afraid to get involved. Catches bottom pair, does Killer, out of position. Makes the check. Do we see a c-bet from Kevin? Checks back. And now picks up bottom pair himself, making himself the new bottom pair. Another check from Killer. Now Kevin, I think, ooh, gets a little bit out of line here. That's the absolute minimum, one big blind. Don't think that's going to be enough to get Killer to fold, to be honest. It pops in the call. And those blue chips worth 5,000 each. And a 6 on the... Oh, and a quick check, and he looks away like he's so disappointed. Does Kevin want to turn his hand into a bluff? He would find himself in a whole world of trouble if he did, though. My. Killer. Ice cold. He is going for something, though. 60,000. 1.5 big blinds. Killer. Pretending to look confused, like he's trying to figure out something, trying to feign weakness, but then does something very not weak. Announces a raise. Raises to 140k. That's a significant amount of Kevin's stack. Kevin's left with one of those situations where calling is not really a good idea. You only beat bluffs at this point if you're Kevin. So you either raise and turn your hand into a bluff, or you fold. It's pretty much what you should do. Calling is a bit loose, I'd say, but he does it nonetheless. Maybe Killer just got into his head. He's going to see some terrible news there. Trips is good enough. He was behind the whole time, except for pre-flop. And now, in command, 38 big blinds to Kevin's 11 is our man Killer. What a player he is. Kevin as well adjusted well, because as we mentioned, Killer throughout the bulk of this tournament, when we still had 6 players here, had well over $1 million at that point, and no one else had more than 240k. So it was this short stack affair, and it was very difficult to navigate those waters, and Kevin did so really, really well, I must say. Once he got himself like over 25 bigs or so, he somehow managed to just keep his head above that sort of danger line, while the rest of them either collided or got killed by the Killer. And finds himself now at heads up, and he's come back from behind before, so there's no reason to suspect he can't do it again. But he's got to do it with better hands than bottom pair. Let me just say that much. Open-ended now to the bottom end. Killer once again holding a 6. Takes the betting lead this time, which is interesting. Again, just the one big blind. Really hard to make a pair in heads up hold'em, and that's why Killer does make the call there. An ace could be a little worrying for both parties based on their actual holdings, based on how they play and what their reputations are like. That could be a different story altogether. That is one of the fun things about poker. It's not about what you hold. And look at that move from Kevin. 5 high like a boss. And you know what? It's gonna work unless Killer is just the sickest of all time. I mean, that is a very, very wet board. There are a lot of draws out there. And well played, Kevin. Turning 5 high into the winning hand. That's what it takes sometimes. He was, of course, open-ended, so it's like a sort of semi-bluff, but with those 2 flush draws being sort of open, I kind of like the line that he took instead, because, of course, hitting one of his straights, it's just less likely to get super paid when the flush also gets there, so this way he gets to take it down, no muss, no fuss, and actually not have to contend with the issue of realizing his equity. He just takes the chips. Killer with the King 6 suited, third 6 in a row in his hand so far at this final table. Pumping up the pressure, forcing Kevin to fold. Puts him right back to where he was a hand or so ago. Again, you can see the trophy over there. That's what they're playing for, along with a top prize of $1,000 US.
Our single day 5 rollers. Round number 7, human killers. Their points are up 5 rollers, 800, 1600, 1600 and high rollers tonight.
I definitely like to say Killer's style is suited to heads up, for sure. Aggressive usually comes out ahead. All in from Kevin CCC, speaking of aggression. And it gets snap called as well. Here we go. This is what we wanted to see, some blood, potentially. Killer calls behind, but is the covering stack. Kevin needs to avoid a 2 or a king to stay alive in this one. It's a decent start. Although Killer does have the deuce of hearts, so backdoors are alive in that regard. A heart would be a sweaty card. A queen is a very safe card. Seven of hearts on the river confirms the double up, and we are even Stevens once again in this matchup between the two players from Taiwan. Wonderful stuff.
55. 455.
Killer still having the lead. Definitely not insignificant, like I mentioned in heads up. Three minutes left in this level, and then those blinds will be up again. 2550, I believe, is the next level. Nine, 6 off. The 6 has brought some good fortune thus far. Makes a call. Kevin reaching for 25k chips. Makes it 85k to go. That is the minimum. And Killer comes right along. 6, the magic card, as always for Killer, as he catches middle pair. Kevin, though, with the pre-full up aggressors range. And another bet of 85k. Quick call. No fear. $100k from Kevin. I like the continued aggression, identifying the fact that the ace and the king do make sense in terms of his actions so far. Killer 6 now looking not so attractive anymore. And he does get rid of it. Another nice bluff there from Kevin, who takes the lead. And back and forth we go. What is everyone's thoughts? Has everyone's thoughts been on this APT Taiwan exclusive feature and final table? What have your favorite moments been? Who are your favorite players? Which one of these two gentlemen are you rooting for or supporting? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Pocket nines from Mr. Killer. It has been a decent heads-up match. Both of them showing an equal amount of aggression at appropriate spots. A little bit on the tighter side for my taste, but that's because I'm a freaking psycho. What can I say? And hello, cheeky. Ace King suited. The nut no pair. Blinds are up now as well. 25k, 50k. Kevin with an absolutely fine hand to continue with, heads up as well. He will take the flop. Ooh, spicy flop indeed. Open-ended for Kevin. 2 overs for Killer. None of those cards on that flop are clubs, so that sort of will be a factor on his mind. Continued aggression has usually been his style, and that looks to be consistent while he fires out another bet of what looks to be like 110k or 100k. Kevin, of course, going nowhere with that draw. Neither of them have hearts. And ka-ching! Makes the absolute nuts on the turn. Does Kevin CCC. You can see the smile in the corner of his face just a wee bit if you look really closely. And why wouldn't you be happy? You can see it right there. But why wouldn't you be happy? You just turned the absolute stone cold nuts. But as he's done before, Kevin, he's tended to give his opponent an opportunity to get away instead of continue bluffing, which is something I feel he would need to look back on his game and adjust for at some point. Good. And Killer, how sticky can you actually be with ace high at this point? Do you really feel your opponent's weak enough that you can bluff them off? I don't know. There's some support for Kevin in the chat, I can see. Oh my, he's not going anywhere just yet. It is heads up, you know. But all the random hands that miss are just flush draws, and I don't know if that's if it's worth continuing. He's gonna think about it, and that's his very last time bank as well. So 30 seconds, otherwise his hand will be folded automatically. Killer in a bit of a spot. Tick tock. Tick tock. 9. Makes the hero call right now. Uh-oh. Kevin's out for blood here. I mean, Killer's out for blood here. Oh, and it'd be tragic if he tries to represent a one-card straight now. And look at the acting there from Kevin, pretending like he's really upset that the one-card straight just got there. Oh, that was some. Hand that gentleman an Oscar right there. That was almost a perfectly timed and rather natural-looking reaction to that river, as if he actually hated it. Oh, you'd like to see it, guys. You really like to see that. Come on, Kevin. I'm kind of rooting for you now because of that little performance right there. It was such a beautiful micro-expression. But once again, his actions are going to speak louder than his words. And right now that he's faced action on the turn, which screams some sort of strength, and at least a draw, and one of them got there. So you really Do you bet here and hope they come over the top and continue with the bluff, or do you go with the ultimate check and hope that they pull the trigger? Instead, he goes for the absolute lot. Is Killer stacking those together so that he can... I thought he was going to make the craziest hero call I've ever made, which would also be wrong because he's facing the absolute nuts. But maybe that's what he's thinking right now. He's like, this guy's been betting polarized throughout. That could be the only thing I can really think of as to why he's considering this so hard, or why he's actually even reached this far. But Kevin has given him multiple opportunities to get out of here. And he does make the call. Wow! Feeling like ace high was good there, going for a hero call with both those flush draws missing. Ships his entire stack, leaving himself decimated. One big blind. Oh my word. Well, it happens to us. It happens to the best of us, folks, and it makes for good entertainment, but I wouldn't advise it in future. Hats off to Kevin there, selling a polar story. And as far as Killer was concerned, either his ace high was good, or he was going to be shown a bluff, or the nuts, and he was shown the absolute stone cold nutter butters. 7 to the jack, straight. Oh my word, Lee George, that emoji is exactly how I feel right now when I saw that. That was my face as well. Jeez Louise. Well then, I don't want to be presumptuous here, but I kind of feel like this might be in the bag for our man here, Kevin. He missed the killer. He went for the kill with ace high and got killed himself. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Well, you gotta respect the cojones, guys, for actually making the call. My. It's that kind of spot that you dream about making sometimes. You know, sometimes you feel it in your gut. You level yourself into calling. I think the added factor of him not having any time banks left. It's auto all in. He finds himself dominated. Fate, as it would have it, is how he made it. Someone wants to know. He had over 1 million chips right at the beginning of the match. He was the chip leader for the longest time, for like 75% of this entire final table that started with 6 people. There's a 3 that changes nothing right now. Can maybe chop it if there's some high cards that roll off there. But right now, Killer facing death. Diamonds, I didn't see that, are very much live there. Another high card would chop it and they would try again. Oh, diamond. Or he gets a full double up. Only auntie. Oh, he thought he was going to get more than that, but no, you can only win. You can only win what you put in, sir. Unfortunately, and that means you still have currently less than 1 big blind to play this table with. It's $1,000 to the winner, $750 to runner-up, but do be aware that they have already, all 6 players who made it to this final table got an APT Hanoi Billions main event ticket worth $1,500 already. So everyone is a winner. They're really playing for the trophy right here that you see in the middle of the table. That main event, by the way, which we will be covering as the days go on, is on track to be $2.5 million in the prize pool. And that's not a great start. We've got trip 7s versus 8-10, which needs to catch a running hearts or running straight, which is going to be hard because he needs a 9 to make a straight, and that would make an opponent a full house. So I don't think that's going to happen, folks. It's going to be hearts and hearts only, and that's it. GG's. That's all she wrote. Well played, Kevin CCCCC. I did it right this time. We got all 5 C's in there. The man. It was actually quite an interesting match indeed. Like we said, Kevin looked like he was he knew what he was doing through and through, you know, and he kept his cool even when he was on the rails down to maybe 10-11 big blinds a couple of times. Happy there, winner and champion of our APT Taiwan exclusive event. They're all probably going to run and jump into the main event straight away, which they should do. Just because you win a trophy doesn't mean the game stops. There's plenty of poker to play here at the Hanoi Billions 2023. Our champion, Kevin CCC, goes by the name of Chen Kuan Yu. I hope I pronounced that correctly, but that was my best effort. He gave it his best out there and did a great job, I'll have you know. It was a fun final table to watch as well. I enjoyed all of it. There were some coolers, there were some sick hands, there were some good plays. Type of stuff that you want to see. Quality poker from that man right there, Kevin CCCCC. And there you go, that's what the payouts were, and that's where all the players who played, that were their names, that was what they earned. It was a fun match to watch as well. Story of the day. Like I said, fun match to watch as well. Story of the day was Killer versus Kevin. Killer, like we said, came into this with more chips than everyone combined almost. So he was in great shape and he was relentlessly aggressive, really piled on to his opponents, did most of the work of knocking them out. And then you had Kevin, our eventual champion, who hung around, just kept his head above the water, didn't let the pressure get to him. Even when he went down, just maintained his cool, played some solid poker, eventually got himself the chip lead, and then just edged all his way up to the top, finally winning a massive hand versus his opponent, who made quite a spectacular attempt at a hero call with ace high for pretty much all of his stack. They finally ran it out, 8-10 versus 9-7. Kevin getting a lock on that with 2 sevens on the flop and becoming our eventual champion. That was a fantastic game to watch. I enjoyed the hell out of it. Do stay tuned for the influencer event that we have happening at 6:30 later on this evening. Do stay tuned for that. Otherwise, in the meantime, take care from everyone here at APT Hanoi and the Billions. And we'll catch you at around 6:30 on the new stream.